How did we get here? It's a question that drives every field of science, especially astronomy. But an even more important question is, how did we begin? Before we reached our current understanding, something had to start the journey. That first step matters just as much as the destination. The universe existed long before humans appeared. The stars shone, planets moved, and the moon rose and set for billions of years without any witnesses. Then, at some unknown moment in our deep past, early humans looked up and realized the sky wasn't just a random collection of lights. It had patterns. Some lights moved slowly, others stayed fixed. The sun and moon followed predictable paths. This simple awareness sets humanity on a long, slow journey that would eventually lead to calendars, navigation, mathematics, and the scientific study of the universe itself. This first moment of curiosity didn't happen in a city or a temple. It happened long before civilization, long before written language. To really understand the history of astronomy, we can't start with famous philosophers or ancient scholars. We have to begin with the very first humans who depended on the sky simply to survive. Life on Earth has always used the sky. Birds migrate using star patterns. Newly hatched sea turtles use the brightness of the moon to find their way to the ocean. Even insects can sense the direction of sunlight in ways we can't. In nature, the sky is both a map and a clock, and humans were no exception. We're part of the natural world, and our earliest relationship with the sky came from that same basic instinct to survive. For early humans, the sky was intensely practical. Before there were clocks, the rising sun signaled the start of the day. Before calendars existed, the phases of the moon helped track the passage of time. And long before compasses, bright stars helped travelers stay oriented. People observed the changing seasons and noticed that certain star patterns returned at the same time every year. This knowledge helped them predict weather changes, animal migrations, and the right times for hunting or gathering food. Since writing didn't exist yet, this vital knowledge had to be remembered and shared orally. Stories became a powerful tool for memory. A group of stars might be described as an animal or a hero, not because early humans literally believed that shape was there, but because it made the pattern easier to remember and pass on to the next generation. In this way, storytelling became an early form of information storage. Different environments shaped different ways of watching the sky. Desert peoples, like the early Arabs and Amazigh, relied on stars near the horizon and the North Star to navigate across vast, open lands with no landmarks. Communities living near oceans paid close attention to the moon and to bright stars that rise and set along predictable lines, because these guided travel and fishing. Groups in forests or mountains often relied more on the sun, since trees or tall peaks blocked much of the night sky. And people in far northern regions watched the few stars visible during their long, dark winters to maintain a sense of direction in snowy, featureless landscapes. These differences show that early skywatching came from daily needs, not abstract curiosity. Humanity's earliest attempts to record the sky were simple, yet profound. Archaeologists have found ancient bones and stones with repeated markings that appear to track the phases of the moon. Certain ancient gathering places were built in ways that align with the rising sun on specific important days, like the start of summer. These weren't scientific tools in the modern sense, but they show that people were beginning to move from just casual observation to deliberate tracking. At this stage, astronomy wasn't a formal subject. It was a blend of awareness, memory, and survival. The sky was predictable, and predictability meant safety. People watched, remembered, and slowly began to build these cosmic patterns into their lives. Then, everything changed with the invention of writing. Once humans learned to record information, they could track the sky from one generation to the next. They could compare observations made over long periods, look for even longer-term cycles, and slowly move from practical sky use to organized astronomy. The earliest known written records of the sky come from the ancient civilizations of Mesopotamia, the Sumerians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. Their clay tablets show regular, systematic observations of the moon, the planets, and the stars. This marks the beginning of the written history of astronomy, a story we will explore in our next video. But before we move forward, it's as crucial to remember that the true foundation of astronomy was laid long before a single word was ever written down. It all began when the first humans looked up, noticed the patterns in the cosmos, and understood that the sky could guide their lives. From this simple, beautiful beginning, the long, incredible, scientific story of the universe slowly began to take shape. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter in our journey through the stars.